Yes, yes, yes. Once again, we back in the building at the Go Us Podcast.
Yes,
J30,
yes.
Van 50 grand, Ivan, whatever you want to call us, man. We want you to subscribe and like the video. Please subscribe and like the video. And we're going
Yeah,
to get
tap
it,
in,
man.
B. Tap in, the Jasper boys. You know what I mean? We outside, man.
Listen, as you can see, we're strolling on the bottom. 10 reasons hip hop got lost in translation. So there's many
Did
different
it?
things. A lot of things that goes on with hip hop, and some of what we understand, some of the people, the pioneers, and some of these things. And it's such a global thing now. It's real difficult for people to appreciate who the pioneers are. That's what I think. The business been going so hard for so long, and things been happening for so long. It's hard for people to really understand the business aspect of everything, right? So a lot of people get upset when they start to hear the history of some of these things. So we're going to break down the first three today. It's going to be 10 of them, but we're going to break down the first three right now so that we can get to the point and understand how we got here. And let's talk about it a little 30. What you got to say about it, man? Be honest with me. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I already know. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes of it. You know what I mean? That's all. It's just, everybody got their own way how they look at it. You know what I mean? And we're going to give you our point of view of how we kind of look at it. You know what I mean? And that's it. You know what I mean? Allegedly.
All right, so look, man, let's start off. Let's get to number one, man. Let's get to the number one reason. And this is opinion and peace, right? Some may differ, some may have many different things they want to add. But what we're doing here at the Go Us Podcast is sharing some of what we experienced and what we know to be a part of that and how it got lost in translation according to the message XYZ. So, number one, we're going to show you a video. Hip hop went from a black owned business or black owned label into becoming mainstream with all the other big industries, right? So it started out black owned. It was a black owned business. Sylvia Robinson. A lot of people know exactly where I'm going with this. And this was the birth of hip hop. So in so many words, it's just like the Negro leagues and different things. And when we was owning a lot of our own stuff, we had more control of what the message could be. That once you start bringing in other cultures and they start bringing in their own business models and money, and then the translation is lost. The purpose is lost. The message is lost. What made it what it is now, like you say, little too many ingredients now. So,
That part.
it's like for those people like that know how to make gumbo and certain things, certain ingredients going in. Some people add different things. So now this original gumbo has changed. So let's get to the beginning. Number one reason hip hop got lost in translation. Let's do it.
Robinson, Bobby Robinson, Paul Winley, and the independent origins of the rap music industry. The first labels to embrace and record rap music were independent record labels. One thing that these record label owners had in common was a strong background in R&B and soul music. Sylvia Robinson owned and operated Stang, Turbo, and All Platinum Records. She released her own music by The Moments, The Rim Shots, The Whatnots, and many more. Bobby Robinson owned and operated Enjoy and Fire and Fury Records. He released records on Gladys Knight, Frankie Lyman, and many other soul groups. Paul Winley of Paul Winley Records released records on George Benson, The Clovers, and even speeches by Malcolm X. Sylvia Robinson started Sugar Hill Records, where she discovered the Sugar Hill Gang and furthered the careers of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the Funky Four, Spoonie G, and others. Bobby Robinson converted Enjoy Records to a rap label, where he discovered the Treacherous Three, the Fearless Four, the Funky Four, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and others. Paul Winley released the first records by Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, the Cosmic Force, and one of the first breakbeat series in hip-hop titled Super Disco Breaks.
There you have it. It started off as a black-owned business.
Yep.
Hip-hop was a black-owned business. And we could get into what happened after that we'll leave that for another time. But so a lot of different cultures like to add so many different things and say what created hip hop. But we do know it started out as a Black-owned business. Shout out to Sylvia Robinson, her husband, and those guys that took a chance with the hip hop industry and created rap music. So for some people, this is just a refresher course because they know it. To the young people that don't know about it or just doing the research on it, this might be new to you. So that's number one reason to me. The message got lost. I mean, in translation, but it was Black-owned and it became, we already know. That's what Kanye West and most artists cry about today because now they can't control the music because there's different cultures that's in the music. Let's move on to 2.
Real talk.
The second reason, this is an opinion piece only. I think the message, the content, and the purpose got lost. Is the second reason to me. And I think when you understand how we got here and what hip hop was about, it had a purpose, right? It was here to try to help explain the story and the message of growing up in the inner city, in the ghettos, in the hoods, which people was what? At a disadvantage. So that's what the message was like, to say, listen, we're struggling in this area. We're struggling in these hoods. This is what life is for us. We're challenging each other. We're doing all of these things to each other for resources. Everything come back to resources and land when you start to do the math, when you deal about the human disconnect. It's always going to come down to resources and land, and who has it and who don't have it, right? Who have good land, who have it, and who don't have it, right? So the message is going to come back to how people are sharing resources, the lopsided side to resources, land, so on and so forth.
Using resources.
Using it, misusing it, whatever way you want to use it.
Using it because it's like it's crazy because it's like you never knew that it started with those guys, you know what I mean? Because that how they it's just crazy because you wouldn't think Black people and all that was owning that at first. You get what I'm saying?
And they come out of the R&B business, so they understand music.
Yeah, and but see the thing to me, you know what I mean? Allegedly, it's like, it's like a person teach you a certain way, right? And now you doing it that way, right? But you don't know that's the wrong way. You get what I'm saying? But you doing what have been inflicted on you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely.
So now you would think that you would think that the next generation should be fair. You get what I'm saying?
But that comes back to the same thing. The resources.
It's like the R&B people went through it. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
With Frankie Lyman and all these guys,
Definitely.
how they was robbing them and all that. So they should already know. Yeah, so they should already know that's an unfair treatment. You know what I'm saying?
But see,
so now you bringing that to the hip hop people. You get what I'm saying? The same attitude that you didn't like. You get what I'm saying? So now, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So like, okay, that's why I can see them wiggling away from that. You get what I'm saying? Because you treating them just like how you was treated. You get what I'm saying?
I can tell you this. When they sold it, they must have got a good amount of money, but just because they had those artists online, and those was the pioneers of hip hop. So when they sold it, they got some good money. Be able to sell it to somebody else. And I know they didn't sell it to another Black ownership because there wasn't that many ownerships back then. So yeah. So let's that's great. That's, like you said, a great story about just the ownership alone. We lost ownership from the beginning. Let's get into video 2. If you got anything else you want to say about going from Black ownership to industry, if you will, if you allow that term to be understood.
Yeah, cause it's like we we didn't know how it go. You get what I'm saying? And
I
like
get
and you know and it seemed like the industry is their industry. You get what I'm saying?
it is. All of those
So
industries was ran by other people, and we had
you
to
know,
show our talent. And once again, by us not having the academic background, not understanding how to read contracts, not understanding points. I mean, we just started think about it, we in 2024, and people are starting to understand how much money they really lost in the industry. So once again, like they say, ignorance is one of those things. People die from the lack of what? Knowledge.
knowledge. Yeah,
So a lot
yeah.
of these, a lot of these artists' career died just by not knowing, just because of talent alone. But two, let's get back to two. Two is, in our opinion, the content, the message, and the purpose got lost in translation. So let's hear what let's check this video out and see what do you think about this explanation to what we're talking about here. Translation.
Griff breaks down hip hop.
They're rappers. And if you ask them about a brief, basic history of hip hop, they probably couldn't even tell you. The founding fathers, they can't answer. 4 fundamental elements of hip hop synthesized by the 5th element, they probably couldn't answer. You know, and even what was the precursor to hip hop coming to birth, early 70s, they couldn't answer these things. We're putting too much on them. But we did write the books and pass it back to them. They're in the libraries, they're in the colleges, they're in the street, they're online, they won't read them. We do have hip hop artists that sat in this chair right here that gave us aspects of the history, did you not? They won't listen. It's like, so what is it that you have to do? You understand what I'm saying? And me and my wife had this conversation all the time. It's like, and I said it the other day at a lecture that I was giving at a library, our house called Hip Hop Culture and Do What They Wanted to Do. I think not. We didn't put that pressure on them. Why would we put it on 2 Chainz or 50 Cents or any of them? You see, we putting a responsibility and a duty on them that they probably haven't been groomed nor prepared nor was ready to deal with. They're not trying to be someone's leader. They're trying to be a rap artist. Most of them never claimed hip hop, which is higher infinite power healing our people. Most of them don't claim that. Most of them just say, look, I'm just trying to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? I want to do the show, entertain people, smoke a little, drink a little, bag a couple of chicks, and that's the end of it. Get a nice car, live in a nice house, and go to the after party. They're not claiming anything else. Listen to their interviews, the ones that they mumble through. They're not trying to claim that. We're putting that on them simply because we have a deeper appreciation for the hip hop culture. They don't. They use it as a vehicle and a way to get paid, and that's it.
And look, that's some heavy stuff there. And I don't want to say who appreciate or what they don't appreciate, but I don't think that most guys, you know, at that point, when you're talking about the artists that came out in the 90s, by the time it got to them, it was all money, right? So you're talking about guys 90s, early 2000. Once again, translation, by then, being a leader to help heal your people, the industry already took it over by then. The industry took the message, the content, and it's no longer, like you say, who's the founding father? Why would I care about that? Those artists, right? Now I can sell records. It started to become numbers. So that's why I say number 2 is the message,
you know,
about the content and the message and the purpose. Got lost.
Like I said, you know, on the other, you know, podcast that we did, that the money shaped the rappers. You get what I'm saying? And the money took the conscious out of it. You know what I mean? And see, if it wasn't if it wasn't, if it's not money driven, it kind of took the information out of the music, because it's like, okay, we conscious. If they paying for that, we're gonna do that. Okay, they paying for gangster rap, we're gonna do gangster rap. They paying for mumble, we're gonna do mumble. So basically, we just chasing the bag. It's not about principle no more, right? And like the principle of the thing is the message, you know. And we so like once we open it up for the whole world, now everybody got their own way of how they process and how they bring their rap to the forefront. You feel me? Because like if you go to the South, right, it's a lot of pain down there, right?
100%.
They don't rap about that. They was rapping about dancing and
Yeah, the cultural
stuff
parts like celebrations and
yeah, you know what I mean?
bands,
Yeah, because
bands.
that
Yeah,
was
but by the time the
their
message got,
numbness. You feel
yeah,
me?
but
That was their numbness of the situation. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but before it
But
even got there, it got lost in translation before it even got there. Cause it was basically because I even hear hip hop that's way from back then that they had that's old, real old hip hop. But they was interpreting because they wasn't listening to the hip hop we was listening to. They was creating their own hip hop, and then it became hip hop because a lot of people think hip hop is the rhyming piece. And then they think, oh, this is hip hop, right? And then they say this is hip hop, and then they say it's everything. And hip hop got the 5 elements, which a lot of people don't know that knowledge is one of the elements. So they wasn't thinking about that. So they was thinking more about the rhyming piece.
that's where the raps went, you know? And that's how it went.
Yeah,
That's
because
how
even if you think about the booty music, right? So if you just start thinking about booty music coming out of Miami and all of those type of things, by the time it got to them in Florida, it was no longer helping the people as a concept, right? It was about the monetary piece. And that's why I say that one of the top 10 reasons the money started financing the message. And that's why number 2 is, as we still speak about it, is the message is lost. It's no longer a conscientious approach to it. Now it's becoming into, can you make money with this? So like we go straight into it. And number 3, how it got lost in translation, the money. The money changed everything. So everything that you're talking about, Jack, and explaining to yourself about the money, changing it, shaping it. If it don't sell, and then you started having sayings like this, if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Cause see, like, right? Like when hip hop started, right? Boom. I remember, right? See, when we was trying to get busy doing the music, right? When we was young and we was trying to make it happen with the hip hop, right? Now, how hip hop started was through sampling, right? So now we was sampling music, right? And then you had all the old heads was mad that we was sampling their music, right? Now, it was like it's like the computer. All the rules wasn't there yet.
True.
Everything was new. Now when we took James Brown beats, we took this type of beat to create a beat and put it out, right? So they try to block hip hop that way. So then they start trying to, oh, you can't use these people's sampling, then you getting sued for sampling. Hold up, y'all didn't even create. Y'all don't even create this thing here. Y'all didn't even have no rules for that to become something like that, right? So the old singers and stuff like that who was getting robbed, right? Now we start sampling and all that, right? So you had Rick James, right? You had Rick James. Oh, I don't want people to sample Wooty Woo my thing, right? So after he got paid from Hammer, he was like, oh yeah, sample all my shit. Like whatever.
That's the money. No, but see, but the beauty of it is this I got lost in translation. So now that you can get paid, now the message is over. Can't touch it. Boom, 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 the boom.
So
you start hitting
I remember they used to be heated from that. So from that,
yeah.
So from that, a nigga had to get away from sampling. That's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because these these people start suing for this type of thing. So now us, like now we're becoming them to us, right? Now they never thought about it like, okay, we sample Shaka Khan. We sample Juicy, right? Now, all them people we sample, now y'all can go back on tour. Because now we made y'all back relevant, but y'all didn't see it that far. You get what I'm saying?
Look, see, but here's where the point was. They was already not getting paid for their own music. You got to think about that, right? A lot of them was not even getting royalties for their own music. And then you come out with a second version. You know what I'm saying? So you came out with a second version, a hip-hop version of their creativity, right? So now, once the labels is like, all right, well, we got to pay these people because they know what this song is, right? So now that's why Bismarck's career went down, because a lot of it they didn't get clear. So that's why it was like more like a guerrilla approach to be like, all right, it's hip hop. Let's just put it out and see if it even is successful. Now, if your song take off and you didn't get it clear, man, they got like you say, I think Puffy was paying Sting something like $2,000 a day just for that remake that he did about Biggie Smalls. So what I'm saying to you, like you say, once some people started getting paid, then they was like, all right, cool. Now I know I can eat off of that when I didn't even probably eat off my own music from the original position.
Exactly. And now you can go do shows now. You get what I'm saying? Now we reacted to your career again.
It made the song popular again. I mean, look.
Exactly.
No, but
you
once again.
So yeah. Go ahead.
No, I gotta finish what you're saying.
You can't say so. Go ahead, because you stopped me when
about hip hop.
Because see, now look at this. Now let me show you how that shape it. Because now cats like, oh, I gotta do original beats. You feel me? So now to get your money without paying all these people who ain't down with it, you got to do original beats, right? So now that's shaping it in a whole nother way. You get what I'm saying? Because the sample part is the hip hop. So now I got to take the sampling out of it because I don't want to pay these people. And you know what I mean? So it's like now you watering it down. You get what I'm saying? Now,
translate. That's what.
Yeah. So see the thing about that was hip hop was off the grid.
It was underground.
So how could you sue underground, my G? You get what I'm saying?
Once again,
it's when we wanted to get on top of the ground. That's when they start hitting us with the things. So it was just they rules. You get what I'm saying? It was we own the rights to all these people's stuff, all that. You feel me? So it's like, okay, if y'all want to do it and get these awards and all that, y'all got to go through us. You get what I'm saying? But we should have just stayed on our way.
But once again, that's why if you look at the original title of this whole Go Us podcast is Hip Hop, the Gift and the Curse, right? See, the gift was, all right, wow, we're in the hood. We live in, it's crazy. You know, we live in everything is crazy. We found the way we can eat. We got some music. We got a way we can eat. That's why a lot of people was like, I don't care if I get robbed. I'm actually driving a car. I'm actually got a chain around my neck. I'm pretty. Girls like me. I'm this and that. And then when you find out the math, you're like, excuse me? My record made that much money? And now, once again, when I say 3 is the money. Because you went in as a pure artist, happy to be a part of the industry, which is now industry, that went from black owned to industry. Major record labels picked it up. Curtis Blow was the first artist that they picked up and put on a major label, right? He sold gold. So now that's a new standard for rappers, right? So now you look at all of these things and you say to yourself, wow, I could be that. You're just a regular kid in the neighborhood. I could be that. LL Cool J, if you use an example. I could be that. So now you're not doing math. Most of the people that was young artists, they still robbing them there. LL might have came into business 15, 16 years old. Do you think he could do the complicated math? That's industry math? No way possible. That math still don't add up. Matter of fact, let me go to the video. Let's talking about that aspect of it. Because we have to get there. We have to get there.
State of the music industry is designed to rip off an artist. That's what I believe. I believe that when the check gets handed to an artist, the check is normally not right. The first person that told me this was Nelly. Nelly told me, you know, you got to learn how to do this thing called an audit. And I was like, what is that? And then he was like, man, you got to get a lawyer. And so I searched, I found Jay-Z's auditor, right? And then this guy went and said, I'll do it for, you know, I'm not going to charge you up front. I'm going to take a piece. And I was like, okay. So he goes and he finds over $600,000 that the label hid for me. So I was like, wait a second. Is this the way it always is? He's like, yeah, you got to keep on doing this. So I realized all my peers didn't know this. And the way I got off of Universal when they didn't want to let me go is I told them, if you don't let me go, I'm going to go teach all these guys on the label how to do an audit. And they let me go because of that. They didn't want to pay all that money.
And you just think about, like, you go express yourself on that. But I got a lot to say. But go ahead. What you feel about just that video alone?
Like, nah, it's just the same thing that we, you know, like I was saying, it's like you would think it's the rap game, but it seemed like it's the rob game, right? And when you come from these inner cities and you have nothing, 1% of nothing is something. You know what I'm saying? So
10%, and 10% of that is, and then 20% of that, and 50% of that, like a Jay-Z deal, joint venture.
you feel
Man,
me?
you talking about a woo Master
talking
P.
about-
You look at Master P, his brilliance. You look
Birdman.
at Baby. No, but this is the translation piece. So now at that point, guys could come now and say, nah, this is the deal I need, right? Now you went from, now think about everybody that's going from label to independent now, which was what? The original position that Sylvia was in, right? So now, that's why I say now you're going from what? We ain't getting robbed, 360 deals, all of these things. So as you can
like
see, hip-hop is a gift and a curse.
Like
But-
I said on the last podcast, it was like, you know, once New York wised up, they took it to the West Coast. West Coast wised up, they took it to the South. You know what I'm saying? So
Midwest too.
yeah, the Midwest too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they was looking for the rob. You heard what you call it said a long time ago on Gas Face. You get on box of Newports and Puma sweats. Serge said that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
And look, and this is where the industry say, you know what? Forget the message about what your message is. If we're going to invest in you, this is going to be the message. So now,
talk down on your peoples.
So now, let's go back to the first one, right?
So,
because we have to close out, right? But go ahead, 30, what you gonna say?
Nah, it's just like, you know, when, you know, it's just like my problem was, why you get in that position and do what had done to you to others?
That's the problem. That's the problem of the music. Like, that's the gift and the curse piece. That's the gift and the curse. Like, do these resources, now that you have, are you willing to forget the message? And most people forgot the message, and the reason, that's why I say hip-hop got lost in translation. So now it became more of a money thing. So if we play back the top three things, the first one, it went from black-owned to something else, whatever you want to call it after that, because I'm not trying to get into no technical terms, but it went from black-owned to something else. That's one. Two, the message, the content, the purpose got lost, right? Why you do this? Why we rhyming? What we talking about? Are we still healing our people? That's no longer was the message. And how did they switch that message? It comes down to three. And 30 said it so beautifully. It shaped the music. Now, because of the money. Now, if you got a guard like Chameleon there that lost $600 million was hidden from him. And he learned from Nelly about an audit. And then I like the part when he say he couldn't find somebody that could do that. He got Jay-Z guy, lawyer, to do it. And come to find out, $600,000, these record labels is walking away. So we can't even do the math, right, on how many artists have been robbed mathematically. So there's somebody living off that generational wealth just off of him, $600,000 plus.
And the thing,
and that's probably one album. Who knows?
And the funny thing about that is, like, if you come in and don't try to rob, they feel like you don't know the language of the of what we doing here.
Listen, let me tell you something. Y'all stick around for 4, 5, and 6 that's coming up.
It get better.
It gets better. So I'm just saying, one was from Black owned to becoming a part of the industry. The message got hijacked. That's 2. And then the money shaped everything. So we want to thank y'all for joining us on the Go Us podcast. We need you to like and subscribe. We need your comments. We're doing this out of love. This is a Flower for Flower show. We showing love to the pioneers. We showing love to the people that we know that was talented, that lost their way because they couldn't do it because they owe the record label so much more money. We're doing it just because we want to stand. We sat back in the sidelines. We also did music at one time. Just giving people that we are part of that group of kids that knew hip hop when it was in the streets. So we the kids that was there, saw it grow. We understand what it was. We understand how it got lost in translation. So what we're doing is just letting you young people know that hip hop had a purpose and hip hop had an element to it. And if you know what an element it means, it's a reason for things being done and how it gets done and all of these things. So any last parting words, J30? I love you. I thank you for being available to share some of what you understand, how you process this thing, because you was like me, young kid in it, love hip hop. It's a global thing now, but I think it's our responsibility of people that was there at the beginning to understand how it got lost in translation, because they got people from so many different places that's now trying to change the original purpose of hip hop. And now they're adding things to it that was never a part of it to make it seem so it could get convoluted into what they wanted to believe that it is. So once again, hip hop got lost in translation.
And all I gotta say is, get over here, hip hop.
That's it. So we want to continue to send the real message of hip hop, because I know a lot of people that do subscribe and they watch this. You know, I have family members, kids, and people that's like, man, Unc, I ain't know you know so much about hip hop, this and that. You know, kids that even, you know, that don't know my childhood was hip hop. It was everything to us. It helped us deal with the conditions we lived in. And it was a great way to believe in yourself and hear different things and different stories. And then we just seen the art form develop. And we ain't even talk about the break dancers. We ain't even deal with none of that. We just dealing with the rap aspect of it.
Yeah, that just
we ain't even talking about the break dancers and the fashion.
Tap in.
And get into that stuff, man. And like you say, man, the Go Us podcast is about us, man. The people. Yeah. It's about the U.S. history, and it's about us. Because you can't say it's just us, because all about it is American history. Hip hop is American history. Go Us is American history. We love y'all. Keep showing us love, man, because we got a wealth of information here, and we love to share, man, and tell our stories about hip hop. And we love all cultures and music. Hip hop is now global, and we just want to make sure the original message don't get totally lost, because now we're in a new different stratosphere as far as what hip hop is now. But like I say, it got lost in translation. So stick around for 4, 5, and 6. It's coming up. We're going all the way to 10. The 10 reasons how I got lost in translation. We love y'all. Take care. Like and subscribe. We
That's
appreciate
it.
y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, and tap in www.gomebrand.com. You feel me? Unlimited skills.
Yep. And there you go.
That's
Go Me
that's
Brand
where
right
we at
there.
with it. You feel me? And you
That's
know,
the clothing
and
line.
exactly, and to my kings and queens, stay kings and queens. That part.
Right. And go us.
And go you.